Hello boys and girls, and welcome back to another week of art. This week we are still learning about radial balance, and we are creating a giant flower on our paper inspired by radial balance. So thinking about different shapes as they go around in a circle and repeat over and over again to create that radial balance. So we're going to start with a small circle in the center of our paper, and from that small circle we're going to make another circle that goes around it, and an even bigger circle that goes around that circle, and that's going to be the center for our flower. Now our next design, we're going to draw a big curved oval or rainbow shape to create the petals on our flower. It's okay if the petals go off the page and out into the background, going all the way around, creating these big petals. Some of them might go off the page, and that's okay. All the way around our flower. And one more. All right, now that we have our idea laid out for our flower, we're going to take a black crayon and trace over all those pencil lines that we've created so far. As you can see, I have my black lines nice and dark. I can even go back through and make sure that they're even darker. You want those lines to be really dark and stand out against all the bright colors that we're going to use for our flowers. And once we have our lines really dark all the way around, we're going to think about the different patterns that we want to create that go around. So we can do something simple like little dashed lines that go around in a circle, and we want those dashed lines to be about the same size. And I like to turn my paper as I do this to make it a little easier. We can, if we're thinking about a shape and we're not sure, we can always use our pencil to create our patterns. So we can draw maybe like a little teardrop shape that goes around in a circle. Try to make them the same size all the way around. It's good to start in pencil. That way, if you make a mistake, you can erase it. Trying to make them the same size. I think they're getting a little bit small. They sure are. So I need to make those a little bit bigger for the circle. So even I need to use a pencil to erase if I make a mistake, and then I can go back over them with my black crayon, nice and dark. You can see that I'm outlining it at least 2, maybe even 3 times as I'm going around. So think about the different patterns, the different designs that you want to place in each area, in each section. You can add dots, spirals, wavy lines, zigzag lines, a pattern of shapes, a pattern of color, however you want to create your designs inside your nice big flower. Okay, so I'm going to keep thinking about the different patterns that I'm going to do inside each section, and start out in pencil and then go over it with my black crayon. As you can see, I have my designs drawn in. I have everything nice and dark. If I drew 5 lines on one petal, I did 5 lines on all petals all the way around. If I did a spiral in the center of one of these teardrop shapes, I did a spiral all the way around. If I did a line, it goes all the way around. So make sure that you are creating radial balance by creating a shape or a design or a line that repeats all the way around, and that helps to create that radial balance. Now we're going to take our markers and we're going to color in using these beautiful bright markers. So thinking about the colors in the rainbow as you are coloring them in. Please don't use brown or black for your flower design. As you color it in, you're going to color in the inside and you're going to color the background in using markers. So if you use blue on your petals, do you want to use a blue background? No, because then they would blend in. So if you use blue on your petals, you might want to use purple or red for your background. If you use blue for your background, you might want to use yellow or green or a different color for your petals. So think about the colors that you want for each design. And remember, if you pick a color for this shape, then you're going to pick that same color going all the way around. So you're not creating a pattern of different colors, you're creating that same design, that same color all the way around. And that is also radial balance. It has to repeat the same shape and the same color. As you can see here, I colored in nice and neatly. I'm trying to stay inside the lines and color it in so that there's as little to no white spaces as possible. With the crayon, you might get a little bit, but then you can even go back after you're done and color over those black lines and try to get them as dark as possible, so that it doesn't stand out. So you can see that when I just went over that, it looks a lot neater, a lot nicer. So I can go back in and color over my black lines, make sure that they're nice and dark, and make sure that I've colored inside the lines on each of my shapes so that there's no white spaces. You can see I did a pattern of stripes. Every time you do some kind of shape or some kind of pattern, it means it's like a new shape. It's like a new color. So you want to make sure that if you do stripes, that you don't just color all one color, that you do a kind of like a pattern of different colors, okay? But it has to be the same all the way around. And then when you're coloring in the background, make sure that it's nice and neat all the way around so that we don't see any white spaces. So make sure you're coloring nice and neat. Make sure you're using the black crayon. You might have to go over it a couple of times or even go back over it to make those lines nice and dark. I hope that you enjoy working on this project. I cannot wait to see these beautiful, brightly colored flowers using radial balance. We'll see you next time.